Hello everyone. Today I'm going to address regarding Cbse recent circular that has stirred conversations across India. The mandate is to map students' mother tongue and realign instructions before July. It's really visionary in intent, but truly it is riddled with challenges on the ground. Let's explore where this mission meets viability and where it doesn't. What this circular says: in June 2025, CBSE issued a directive: map every student's mother tongue and realign teaching material accordingly before schools reopen. This ties back to the NEP 2020's goal to teach in mother tongue till grade 5. While the intention is noble, the deadline is razor sharp, giving schools barely any time to collect authentic data, create new content, and train teachers. The intent was good or not. Clearly, the NEP's advocacy for early education in the home language isn't baseless. It is backed by neuroscience, UNESCO, and decades of classroom research. When children learn in the language they emotionally connect with, their brain processes concepts faster and retains them longer. A child thinking in Tamil but learning in English often internalizes confusion, not clarity. And it is exactly visible in many of the schools where the medium of instruction is English and mother language is different. The goal of Cbse, therefore, is rooted in compassion and research, but policy without process can misfire. Let's go for the reality check. Let's get real. A single class in Delhi or Bangalore today might have 8 to 10 languages spoken at home. Are teachers trained? Teachers may be trained, may not be trained. There are no multilingual textbooks or culturally responsive digital tools that are readily available. Budget schools, they lack funding, they lack staff, and they lack systems to create such adaptations overnight. July deadline, it's really unrealistic and for some, even emotionally unfair. What is missing? This circular misses four critical supports. First, there is no toolkit release yet from Cbse. Second, no translated content banks or open source repositories. Third, no training module for multilingual teaching strategies. Fourth one, no funding mechanisms for schools that will struggle the most. When you give a policy without equipping the implementers, you don't get reform, you get resistance, or worse, superficial compliance. What's the practical roadmap? What can be done? Let's not reject the directive. Let's redesign its time. For example, it is just an example. We have got wonderful principals and wonderful educationists, those who can align better way. From June to July, let us utilize these months focusing on mapping and sensitization. July to December 25, let us introduce basic bridging tools, flashcards, bilingual videos, and the peer support. And from December to March, let us start training, building a resource bank, and piloting region-specific content. And from the academic year 2026 onwards, begin phased curriculum realignment only after feedback and readiness check. So build the capacity first, then mandate the change. That will be resulting into some results, and that's there. Emotional mapping is missing. Yeah. The major gap: Cbse assumes that mother tongue is a linguistic fact, but for many children, it's an emotional wound or cultural gap. Migrant children may speak broken versions of their mother tongue. Urban children may be fluent in English but feel ashamed of their heritage language. In 2016, a case study from Mumbai, a Bhojpuri speaking child listed Hindi on forms, but emotionally he was disengaged from Hindi texts. And upon analysis, it was found that his mother language is Bhojpuri, not Hindi, but out of peer pressure and considering the things where he feel hesitant declaring that Bhojpuri is the mother tongue language, he wrote Hindi because it's a first language for the country. Why they didn't identify it? We must map the language comfort level, not just language name. That's very important. I'm repeating it. Map the language comfort level, not just the language name. Very important. Where is the cognitive bridge? Mother tongue teaching isn't just linguistic, it is neurological. One of the school, they trained teachers in cognitive bridging. We worked on them and teaching the same science concept in another region and using metaphors and imagery from English. What happened? What was the result? What happened? That the students, those who were given the mother language touch, they retained the content better as compared to the students, those who were already speaking English at their home, but their content retention was not that very strong. What I strongly consider is that Cbse must introduce micro certifications in code switch pedagogy, training teachers to transit smoothly between languages while maintaining the concept clarity. That's very essential. Sometimes we go ahead, but the cognitive bridging, that's the very important part, and that gets lost somewhere. Translation is not pedagogy. If you say that the text is in English and in mother language, teacher is giving the translation, then sorry, it is not any kind of pedagogy. It's another trap, assuming translation equals the understanding. Schools might have considered that the parents are addressing this. Ma'am, please, my child is not understanding the lesson in English. Kindly translate it into Hindi so that the child is more comfortable in understanding. Is translation a pedagogy? Is it a curriculum? No. What we did, we once translated a Punjabi folk story into Marathi, but the humor didn't land. The idioms were not there. So pedagogy is not just a language, it's a culture. In one of the tribal school, we replaced the standard stories with local riddles and herbal songs. And miracle happened in the class that the classroom came alive. They were more vibrant, more engaged, and that was really wonderful. So CBSE must invest in regional pedagogy labs, collaborating with local writers, elders, and SCERTs to create culturally rooted content. We have we are also working on the folk curriculum, and we have done these integrations very specifically. And this curriculum is really doing wonders because once the children this initiate expressing, they start creating and innovating as well. This we have witnessed very strongly. Engagement, the patriotism, they are not the things or the values that we are teaching them. The labs, the STEM labs, no, they're creating on. They're coming with new and new ideas. Just it's the fun. This it's the integration, the seamless integration. So I consider that CBSE must invest in regional pedagogy labs that will really doing wonders. Mixed language classrooms need models. So make sure that, let us not forget, most classrooms are multilingual. For example, if we consider a school in Delhi, in one class, we can have multilingualistic children sitting in the classroom with different mother tongues. So better is that we should have peer language buddies. And flashcard had English and the regional language captions. So CBSE must support such models. I consider that peer-led translation. For example, Punjabi and student is there, and then a student from another state is there. So let's peer, they are translating for each other in their language and what they have understood best. So I consider that this is really doing wonder. It has really helped in improving the grades of the children, and even the participation level of students have increased. We have witnessed it. So dual language flashcards, we need to work on it. Audio-based tools and AI-enabled live vocabulary support. In 2015, when I was in Finland, I was totally not aware of Finnish language. I didn't know. And their kids were good at Finnish language, and they were not very much well aware of English at all. So how we were communicating for the whole day. Whatsoever I was uttering, they are putting into the translator and get it translated into their language, and then whatsoever they were uttering, I was doing the same. And that helped us to interact. So I consider that from 2015, that bond during those interactions being made, it is still existent. Though those kids have grown up, though I have moved very farther to my career, but still that connection is there. And this is what we need. This is what is lacking in our campuses these days. Community co-creation is the key. Curriculum creation must not be limited to national panels. Let's involve the people who live the language: folk artists, parents, panchayats, local authors, tribes. Let us connect them, because language interaction could be at the ground level by the localites, not the national panelists. They could be experts, no doubt in that, but the life in that could be added by the localite. There was an initiative where we asked grandparents to come to schools on particular days, and we had lovely story sessions. And then we started consider that let us go the home visits. It primarily we did this experiment first in 2016 in Ludhiana-based school, and really it worked well. Students went to the grandparents, and the connection they brought it from there, it is still with those kids. How they interacted, how they behaved, how students were prepared that how you are supposed to behave there and how you are supposed to talk with them, because the family wasn't fluent in English. So how you have to talk very in a good way in the comfortable language, and everything. It resonated not only the language but several other aspects, other skills as well. And it really worked well. And after that, we piloted it in many of the schools, and it really did wonders. So what I consider is that equity in education is not achieved by mandating faster compliances. It is achieved by empowering thoughtful implementation. If we want children to thrive in their mother tongue, we must give teachers the training, schools the resources, and communities the voice. Just don't mandate the mother language. Mother the mandate. That's very important. Let be India's multilingual awakening, not a multilingual emergency. So let this be the awakening. We should enjoy this journey as a multilingual awakening, as a fun, as a joy, but not as multilingual emergency. Let's not just translate. Let us transform. Thank you.